My name is Hazik Meduna. I'm the Communications Director for Alameda County District Attorney Pamela Price. We invited you here today for a major announcement from DA Price and her team here regarding criminal indictment against Radius Recycling, also known as Schnitzer Steel, for the August 9th, 2023 fire in West Oakland. After the DA makes her comments, we will open the floor for questions from the media. I would also like to recognize also here that we have members from the community, stakeholders, Margaret Gordon.
My name is Miss Margaret Gordon.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Margaret Gordon from West Oakland Indicator Project.
Yes.
Joyce Guy from West Oakland Jobs Resource Center. And Lori Lawson, West Oakland Jobs Resource Center, and Janice Hunter from West Oakland Indicators Project. And with that, I will turn it over to DA Pamela Price.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming. My name is Pamela Price. I'm the elected district attorney of Alameda County. Today is a historic moment in the history of Alameda County and a signature moment in the administration that I lead as the elected district attorney. Today we have unsealed, the court has unsealed, and therefore we are able to announce a criminal indictment against a corporation that committed environmental crimes in Alameda County that particularly impacted West Oakland, but primarily impacted all of us who lived in Alameda County. This is a historical indictment against a corporation and two of the corporate officers. This follows a lengthy grand jury proceeding and investigation by my office in which more than 50 witnesses testified, and the Alameda County criminal grand jury issued this indictment, a 10-count indictment against Radius Recycling, Inc., formerly known as Schnitzer Steel, and two company managers, Daniel Woltman and Dane Morales, for crimes arising out of the August 10th, 9th, and 10th, 2023 fire, scrap metal fire at the company's facility at 1101 Embarcadero West. It's an Oakland metal shredding facility. The defendants, I'm informed, made their first court appearance this morning in Alameda County Superior Court. The unsealed indictment today alleges that Radius Schnitzer, Mr. Woltman, and Mr. Morales committed felony violations of Health and Safety Code, section 25-189.6A, knowing or reckless treatment, handling, disposal, or storage of hazardous waste material in a manner that caused an unreasonable risk of fire, explosion, serious death or injury, as well as felony violations of the Health and Safety Code, section 42400.3C, as well as conspiracy to violate the Health and Safety Code, and felony conspiracy against Mr. Woltman to intentionally destroy or conceal evidence. All of the defendants are charged as well with a number of misdemeanor violations relating to the intentional destruction or concealment of evidence, violation of California Toxic Substances Control Act, the Bay Area Air Quality Monitoring District regulations, and misdemeanor negligent and reckless release of air contaminants. In total, Radius Schnitzer is charged with 8 offenses, including 3 felonies, and Mr. Morales is charged with 9 counts, and Mr. Woltman with all 10 counts in the indictment. The grand jury indictment process today is a result of my office nearly year-long investigation, which we publicly announced after the fire in August of 2023. Under my leadership, this administration will not allow corporate criminals to poison our community recklessly, to create vulnerabilities for our community and for those who serve our community and just walk away having made a profit and get off with a slap on the wrist. This was the 3rd major fire at Radius West Oakland metal shredding facility in 5 years. And it was by far the longest, spewing toxic smoke across the East Bay for approximately 15 hours. As a result, We believe that Radius has often shrugged off the regulations when it was convenient to them, treating minor administrative fines and civil penalties as the cost of doing business, resulting in a terrible legacy of environmental racism and poison in Alameda County that has had a deleterious impact on West Oakland of our communities. This was an environmental disaster that impacted hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Bay Area residents. The toxic smoke from this fire blanketed West Oakland, East Oakland, Alameda, and San Leandro, and the numerous other parts of the Bay Area, with Bay Area Quality Management District monitors detecting the smoke plume from this fire at least as far east as Livermore and as far north as San Pablo. We thank both the government agencies and the regulators who provided the evidence to assist in our investigation, including the Department of Toxic Substance Control, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, the Alameda County Department of Environmental Health, and the City of Oakland. And in particular, we want to express our deepest gratitude to the firefighters that responded to this incident, and they battled bravely through the night at a grave risk to their lives on behalf of the residents of Alameda County. I also want to particularly appreciate and thank our inspectors team, the investigators from our office, as well as the district attorneys who participated in the investigation, as well as the presentation of evidence to the grand jury. The district attorney's investigation was led by Deputy District Attorney Gabriel Markoff of my Consumer Environmental Protection and Special Prosecution Unit, assisted by other deputy district attorneys and our inspectors. Our investigation continues in this matter, and we again, as we did in August, we urge members of the community whose health suffered because of this fire to come forward and tell their stories to my office's investigative team. Mr. Markoff is here, and he is available to provide his information, his contact information for public dissemination. We hope that as a result of this indictment and holding not only the corporation but these corporate managers individually accountable under the criminal statutes of this state, we hope that Radius will finally learn its lesson and learn to be a good corporate citizen. But in the interim, we will not waver in our determination to seek justice for the victims of this fire and for our community as a whole. We will no longer allow corporate criminals to violate our rules, our regulations, and our laws with impunity. Thank you, and I'll take questions at this time. Yes, sir.
Jonathan Hawkins from KTVU. If the business, group, and or individuals are found liable and or guilty of these charges, what will restitution for the city and or citizenry look like?
The question is, if we are able to prove these allegations, this complaint beyond a reasonable doubt, what will restitution for the residents look like? Restitution can take many forms. Over the years, Radius has faced civil penalties in the past. There have been injunctions in the past, and we would anticipate that in addition to the criminal liability, that we would then have the opportunity to fashion a form of restitution that would fit the crime. And so at this time, that will be determined ultimately by the verdict. Questions?
What kind of, if found guilty, what sort of sentence could the individuals be held to?
The question
prison
is,
time, or?
the question is, if found guilty, what is the exposure for the individuals? I'm gonna turn to Mr. Markoff.
Right. Thank you, Madam Lydia. For the individuals, each of the felonies with which they are charged is a standard wobbler felony, and could have up to a maximum sentence of 3 years in the county jail. They are also subject to significant financial penalties associated with these statutes, which create additional financial penalties beyond mid-normal. And if convicted on all counts and all allegations, the company can be liable for up to approximately $33 million in criminal fines, and with a minimum of about $625,000. It's a per day fine that has a range. individuals also are subject, if convicted on all counts and allegations, to very significant fines.
You mentioned that your investigation is ongoing. How are you hoping to expand this investigation, or what are you looking for as you continue forward in this?
So the question is, the investigation is ongoing, how are we looking to expand it or to continue it? I'll let Mr. Markoff, and he and his inspectors are here as well.
I would just say at this time that we can't disclose too much of what we are looking at, other than to state that the investigation continues, and to re-urge that if any members of the community suffered health impacts after the fire, we urge them to contact us so that our team can speak with them. Yes, and it is, I believe, askcjb-da@ac.gov.
Yes, Ms. Gordon.
As a resident, Ms. Margaret Gordon for the West Oakland Environmental Indicators Project, I would like to be to the public, it's overdue that Snitzer finally get their justice and anything else, because the company has been grandfathered in. The oversight, it has not been really sufficient. We have very little, or have had very little engagement with the residents or organizations that deal with air quality in West Oakland. So I appreciate that this has finally happened, but we also need, have y'all had discussions with the other agency attorneys to step up, including the city of Oakland?
Many of those we've been in touch with because they have been able to provide evidence, because they have information about it. But at this time, we're not really at liberty to disclose exactly what we've talked about.
Yeah. So there is a conversation going on.
Well, as I said, they have provided evidence in this case, which we can't say more about because the transcript is still sealed. But in terms of other discussions, at this point, we're not able to disclose that.
You called this a historic day. Why is it historic? I mean, have corporations not been charged with this before in Alameda County? If not, why? Could you just expand on that a little bit more, your sense about why this is different?
Sure, the question is, why is this historic and why is this different? And have corporations been charged criminally in Alameda County before? The answer is no. This is the first time that this district attorney's office has actually held a corporation as well as corporate managers individually accountable under the felony statutes. So that is what is unprecedented. We convened a criminal grand jury, which there have not been very many of those, and certainly this is, to our understanding, the first time a criminal grand jury has been convened and successfully returned an indictment against the corporation and 2 of its corporate managers individually. That is what is historic and unprecedented, and that is the message to those who are continuing to pollute, who have been violating our rights in Alameda County with impunity, that there is a new day in Alameda County, and we intend to hold people accountable, that no one is above the law, and we will no longer have a double standard.
Okay, anyone else?
I have a question I'd like to ask, if that's all right, that's slightly off topic.
We can take the off-topic question offline.
Okay.
Okay.
And also, we have packets of our data, our opposition letter to, if you don't know, State Senator Ben Allen has wrote a bill about, in relationship to all the metal shredders in the state of California, which is 9. Only 2 local, one in Redwood City and here in Oakland. So everybody gonna know about this bill, and how are your staff is engaging around this bill?
Yes, ma'am. The question is, how are we engaging? Is it a AB 9 or SB 9?
SB 1234.
SB 1234.
Yes, we just learned about that yesterday, I can say, and so I am still reviewing that to determine its impact at this time.
Yes, our office has a robust legislative policy director who monitors legislation, so thank you for bringing that to our attention. Not only will the investigative unit look at it, but our policy director, our senior assistant policy director, will also look at it and see if our office can in fact support the bill. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, just one more question, like a nuts and bolts kind of question. This particular unit is in the Consumer Affairs Bureau of the office, or?
Question is about this particular unit. When I came into this office, I created a realignment of what had previously been here, and so now we have a Consumer Justice, Environmental and Protections and Special Prosecutions unit. We also have a division in our office called Advancing Justice, of which this unit is a part of it, and it includes those bureaus and units that are committed to innovation in the law and to enforcing the laws on behalf of the residents of California as well as the residents of Alameda in new and innovative ways. This unit has done amazing work over the last year. Last year we achieved a $49 million settlement with Kaiser for hazardous waste material disposal, and our office received $7 million as part of the compensation for the residents of Alameda County. It was the highest amount that had been received by this office ever. This unit continues to bring home the bacon for the residents of Alameda County over and over again. And this criminal indictment is a new phase in what they are prepared to do, but having now engaged successfully in convening a criminal grand jury, they're ready to move forward.
Taking on a corporation like Radius, I mean, it's not a massive corporation, but it's pretty big. I assume they can hire a bunch of lawyers. It's gonna be a really resource-intensive thing, especially if you have to go to trial, right? Like, do you feel like this unit has enough staffing and resources?
Question is whether or not this unit has enough staffing or resources to take on a major corporation and the lawyers that are typically well paid to defend corporate criminals. Yes, we have every confidence that our unit is well prepared to do that. They have taken on Kaiser successfully. They have taken on home insurance companies that have been engaging in inappropriate fraudulent practices, consumer fraud against consumers in Alameda County. They have taken on insurance companies. They are essentially the best, the baddest, and the boldest in the state of California, and we're very proud of that. Thank you very much.
I have a question. Yes, so, as usual, when something happens in West Oakland and being a West Oakland resident, how do you intend to keep everybody engaged in what's going on and get the community to step up to support what you need overall? Because normally what happens is something happens in West Oakland and then it's all excited, everybody's all into it for a minute, and then they just sort of fade away. And then the residents of West Oakland are left destitute or socially or economically at a disadvantage once again, because there's not this consistent, this is what's going on, this is what's going on, this is what we need your help with, and things of that nature. So that's my question. How do you intend to keep people engaged?
The question is, how do we intend to keep the community, particularly West Oakland, engaged? And I certainly, as a longtime resident of Alameda County and Oakland, can speak to the experience that you are describing. At the district attorney's office, as in this case, these proceedings were secret until they were unsealed by the grand jury. And so we were not able to say to people, we're investigating, we are doing our job. But today we are able to say that 50 people testified before a grand jury, a criminal grand jury. It took most of the last year of investigating, and they essentially completed the task, the first step, successfully. Today is a day where we can tell people this is happening, and we are committed, as we have invited community members to come here that I know have been long engaged in this battle against environmental racism. We've invited you to come here so that you are able to know we're committed to addressing this, and we will be keeping you informed as to what the next steps are, to the extent that we can. There are ongoing investigations, and so obviously, in any case, we're not able to often talk about what we're doing behind the scenes, but this is a day that we can talk about it, and we are asking the community to help us. If you in fact know people who were injured by this, you believe you were injured, it was August 9th and 10th with the fire. That was a big, it was in the news quite a bit. We all know it happened. We put out a flyer after that saying, if you were injured, let us know. And we did get responses. We hope to continue to be engaged with the community around this, as well as around the other work that we're doing. So thank you. Thank you for coming.
And I have a recommendation to continue this type of communication. There needs to be a standard process that we who do the environmental justice work and also the climate change work need to have a standard process of engagement. This snitcher should help push that envelope to make sure that Alameda County environmental justice and climate justice organizations understand how to operate when there is a complaint. Right now, we have no idea because there's no public education. So to continue this conversation, on the long term, I'm asking your office to establish some kind of environmental justice collaboration.
The ask is that we establish an environmental justice collaboration. What I can say, what we've done is to create a community support bureau, which I established last year when I got here, to make sure that we have an institutional way for our office to communicate with the community and to hear the issues that are bubbling up. We've established a mental health commission, a reentry commission, as well as a victims advisory commission. I certainly will put it on the agenda for the Community Support Bureau to look into how we can establish, and perhaps this is an opportunity for this imperative and an impetus for us to be able to do that. I can tell you it will take time, but thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming. Have a great afternoon.
We have items to give